to have you with us on Tesla Shorts, Time Daily, episode 509. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Today is June 13th, 2026. Let's dive into today's Tesla news. Tesla's foldable superchargers heading to Europe could cut installation time for new sites. Tesla has begun pushing version 14.3.4 of full self-driving to vehicles. The update carries build number 2026.14.6.10 and includes official release notes now circulating among owners. Rollout status shows initial distribution to a limited set of vehicles. The version continues the V14 series that has been expanding supervised capability in recent weeks. Tesla states unsupervised capability is close, yet owners report repeated incidents with poles and garage entrances. Regulatory scrutiny remains high until measurable improvements appear in edge cases. While software edges forward, hardware deployment tools are also evolving. Tesla is sending its first foldable supercharger units to Europe. The design aims to speed up site deployment compared with traditional fixed installations. European markets have seen slower supercharger growth than North America in recent quarters. Faster rollout could help close gaps in coverage ahead of broader unsupervised FSD use. Observers will watch how quickly the first European sites using the new hardware come online. Success depends on long-term durability under repeated folding and transport. Faster charger deployment ties directly into the same cost control logic now playing out in battery sourcing. Ali's in Taiwan is expanding capacity with ties to Tesla's battery needs. The move highlights ongoing changes in where cells are sourced for Tesla vehicles. Supply chain decisions now span multiple continents as production scales. The expansion could affect cost and availability for upcoming models. Capacity increase is linked explicitly to Tesla cell demand. The move spreads sourcing across continents and reduces single supplier risk. Any yield or logistics gains flow straight into Tesla's bill of materials. That same focus on controllable variables shows up in vehicle longevity data. A new analysis shows Tesla vehicles have higher odds of reaching 250,000 miles than several legacy brands. The comparison covers BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Subaru models. Longevity data is becoming a larger factor in fleet and resale decisions. Tesla's result stems from aggregated owner reports and service records. Result matters for fleet buyers and resale values as higher mileage examples age. Future studies will test whether the pattern holds as higher mileage vehicles age further. Real-world durability questions also surface in daily driving reviews. Motor Trend evaluated the 2026 Model 3 performance and highlighted its combination of price and acceleration. The review positions the car as a lower-cost performance option in the segment. Real-world testing covered handling, range, and daily usability. The model continues Tesla's approach of offering high output variants without major redesigns. Upcoming comparisons will show how it stacks up against refreshed rivals later this year. Operational details matter even more when vehicles operate without drivers. Kathy Wood questioned Elon Musk about Tesla's process for managing parking tickets on robotaxi rides. One ride reportedly ended with a $75 ticket. The exchange highlights operational details still being worked out for unsupervised service. Musk's response addressed how the system would handle such costs. Investors are watching for clear frameworks on cost allocation. Similar practical hurdles appear in other autonomy-adjacent discussions. Owners continue reporting that current supervised builds steer toward fixed obstacles in certain conditions. These incidents occur despite Tesla's public statements that unsupervised capability is approaching. The discrepancy keeps regulatory scrutiny elevated and could slow approval timelines. Tesla's next software iterations will need to demonstrate measurable reduction in these specific failure modes before broader deployment. Xiaomi has introduced a robotic EV charger after Tesla dropped a comparable project. The product focuses on convenience for home or fleet charging setups. Tesla explored automated charging hardware earlier, but moved attention to other areas. Xiaomi's version enters a market where ease of charging still influences buyer choices. Adoption rates will show whether the robotic approach moves past early testing stages. Community posts note the timing follows Tesla's shift away from the concept. Watchers track whether fleet operators adopt the Xiaomi unit first. Recent signals suggest possible deeper connections between Tesla and SpaceX operations. SpaceX reached number 8 on a ranking of the world's most valuable companies. The placement draws attention from Tesla shareholders because of shared leadership. Public markets had not previously ranked SpaceX in this manner. Any concrete collaboration could touch supply chains and data systems for both firms. Details on the scope stay limited for now. Further filings would confirm the extent of any joint work. A low-cost device is being discussed alongside ongoing autopilot performance questions. The reference highlights hardware or software limits that have continued through multiple versions. Tesla has faced repeated review over driver assistance behavior in certain situations. The $10 framing points to how basic workarounds are entering public conversation. Regulatory or insurance reactions could change if these solutions gain wider notice. Owners on X have shared examples of the device's reported use. The discussion adds to existing scrutiny around edge case handling. An analysis in El País English argues Tesla's direction changes with Elon Musk's current priorities. The piece reviews how vehicle, energy, and autonomy projects have taken turns in emphasis. This flexibility has enabled quick shifts but also created uncertainty for investors and partners. Past examples include adjustments in product focus and timeline announcements. Future strategy updates will test whether the pattern holds. The report notes that different efforts receive attention at different moments. Observers track how these pivots affect long-term planning. Community discussion on X examined what local semi-production would require for competitive pricing in China. Multiple posts pointed to Giga Shanghai assembly as a likely step. Import duties and logistics costs were listed as current barriers to appeal. The thread reflects continued interest in Tesla commercial vehicle plans outside North America. Any official move on China semi-manufacturing would set a clearer timeline. Participants compared tariffs against domestic alternatives. The conversation centers on volume needed to offset added expenses. Battery supply chains rarely move in straight lines. Yet Tesla's expanding relationship with Ali's in Taiwan shows how incremental supplier growth can quietly reshape cost structures. The Taiwanese firm's capacity increase is tied directly to Tesla's cell demand, which means any improvement in yield or logistics at Ali's flows straight into Tesla's bill of materials rather than being captured by an intermediary. This arrangement reduces single-point exposure compared with relying on one or two dominant cell makers. But it also requires Tesla to maintain technical oversight across more sites. The practical result is a slower but steadier path to lower per-kWh costs, because each new supplier relationship adds both volume and negotiating leverage. The same logic applies when Tesla ships foldable superchargers to Europe instead of waiting for conventional site builds. Traditional fixed chargers demand weeks of civil works. The foldable design compresses that timeline. Faster site activation increases utilization of the existing vehicle fleet and supports higher energy revenue per charger. The trade-off is that the hardware must prove durable under repeated folding and transport, something fixed installations never face. If the units meet reliability targets, the capital tied up in idle construction time shrinks, which matters when Tesla is simultaneously funding vehicle production, dojo expansion, and Optimus development. Both moves reflect a preference for controlling the variables that directly affect unit economics rather than outsourcing them. Local semi-production discussions in China follow the same pattern. Import costs are a controllable variable once assembly is brought inside the country. In each case, the decision trades short-term complexity for long-term margin visibility. The open variable is whether these dispersed supplier and deployment networks can scale without introducing quality or coordination costs that offset the original savings. Keep an eye on early reports from the FSD 14.3.4 rollout as it widens beyond the first vehicles. That's your Tesla news for today. TSLA closed at $406.43, up $7.28, 1.8%. If you found this useful, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. You can also find us on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Unintended Consequences a listen. True stories of good intentions that backfired. You can explore the whole lineup at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.